Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2021 declutter video, or videos actually. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for colorful makeup and indie makeup, which you will definitely see in these videos. I'm pre-filming this intro. I just finished filming my favorites of 2021 and I will link those here if you haven't already seen them. But I'm going to be doing an overhead, going through my collection. I'm going to do a collection and declutter. Depending on how long these are, I will be splitting them up into 3 or 4 videos. So there will be a dedicated eyeshadow palette collection and declutter, a face products, complexion products one, maybe a lip one, and then maybe one other one. I don't know how long this will be, hopefully not crazy, but grab a drink, grab a snack, enjoy, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Okay, so here is my eyeshadow collection. I think everything's in view, maybe not, but we'll see it all eventually. And I'm having some technical issues. I already filmed this whole video once. Apparently it stopped recording at some point and didn't save any of it, so I'm starting over. And I actually just started over a little bit ago and noticed that it had stopped recording again. So I don't know what's going on. Starting to lose my mind a little bit. But let's just go through and I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way and let's get started.
So, this is asymmetrical, so I'm gonna do it this way.
Okay, that didn't feel stable. Okay, so let's start here. So these are the 3 Infinity palettes from Linda Hallberg or LH Cosmetics. I really love these. I won these in a giveaway and I'm really grateful for that because I really like them and I want to try more of Linda Hallberg now. So this is the Infinity palette 1. These are each both an eyeshadow palette and a face palette. So they're great for travel. And I have used them for travel and for a few random things. So this is Infinity 1, and you can see I'm not going to use that as a bronzer shade, but on the eyes would be nice. These are cute blushes right here, like blushy highlighter combos. These are nice highlighters. I used this shade, cigar shade, a lot when I did that look for Halloween where I was dressed up like Bean, our dog. I wore my matching red hoodie and painted her eye patch on my face. There's a picture of it on my Instagram. This is the Infinity Deep. Really love the mattes over here. These I would not use as a highlighter or a blush, but as an eyeshadow, they're great. And then this is a really pretty shade right here, this Polar Star. And then Infinity Glam is my favorite. And I really like both of these as blushes. These work on my cheeks. These are just really pretty. They aren't quite as pigmented as an eyeshadow as I would like, but that's because they're for both, but they do build nicely, so I'm really happy I have these. And then here are my 2 kimchi palettes. So I really like these. I don't use them very often though. So this is the Kimchi Naomi Smalls collab from last summer, and it's the 2 Queens, 1 Desert. So this is a really unique palette in that each queen, Naomi Smalls and Kimchi, designed a stack, 2 columns of this. I kind of wish it was this way and it was like this and this, but whatever. The mattes in this are nice. They're not my favorite, but they are really nice. And it's just a really unique, fun collab that I'm just happy to have, even though I don't grab it very often. This yellow is actually pretty nice, plus the pun, I'm not yokin' bitch, is just too good not to have as a Drag Race fan. And then some of these look kind of redundant, the greens definitely don't look as similar when you use them on the eye. This definitely pulls a little more yellow, and so does one of these. This pulls very just orange, while this pulls more like terracotta. So they definitely look a little different when you actually use them. And then this is the original palette, the Rainbow Shirts, and it is huge. If I put it next to this melt palette, you can see it's a big boy. And it's just neutrals. It's like her everyday shades. And it's nice to have these as an option. They're not as pigmented as I might want, but they do build nicely and they work well. And there's different undertones for each brown, which I like. So as a basic palette, I like this. I just don't grab it very often. I have grabbed for this grape shade more than some of the others because these are just like standard shimmers, but this is a really pretty duochrome. I do have an acquaintance that does drag that will sometimes just like run their brush throughout all of these shades and use that as like a bronzer. So especially if you're doing the same look all the time and you just want those steeple browns, I don't, you know, especially for the price, this is hard to pass. And then here are my two Lunar Beauty palettes. So this is Moonspell Volume 1. Love this. I adore this palette. The packaging is everything. It has one dud shade, this Hermione, just didn't want to work at all, and then it got hard pan instantly. But the rest of these are beautiful. You can do a cool tone neutral, you can do a warmer neutral, you do green. These are my favorite kind of pinky purple tones up here. Plus it's the Charm Sisters. Like I love this. The formula is great. Everything about this is beautiful. I've talked about this on my channel a few times. And this is Moonspell Volume 2. I did just do a video with this when it came out. Maybe 2 videos. I don't remember, but I do have content up with this. I really like this. Some people said the quality wasn't as good, and I will say it's not as good, but it's still good. The color story is part of why I don't reach for this that much right now. These aren't tones that I really go for. I do really love these dark shades down here, and some of these shimmers are really beautiful. So I will reach for these periodically, but not a regular basis. I'm not a big pink red person. So I just don't really grab them. But I would say, like, if this was a 10 out of 10 quality wise, this is like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's still good, it's just not as good. Still worth the price, I think, if you like the aesthetic of it. And then here are my two Beauty Bay palettes. So this is the Wilderness palette. I have a couple videos up on this. I really enjoyed this, especially for the $15 price tag. You cannot beat it. I have only reached into this twice since I filmed, and they were both to use like this shade here, which is really beautiful. I love the shimmers here. Some people say that they crease on them. I don't find them to crease on me at all. It's the mattes that I don't love. They're very much a pack on and blend the edges with a lighter shade kind of matte. They're not like a build light to dark. And that's what I like to do, especially this dark red did not work very well. But for the price, it's a great deal, and the shimmer's really beautiful. So I'm gonna hold on to it for now, but you can see like the mirrors even coming up right here. Like the sticker, this is just from like filming 2 videos and having it sit in my collection, that this is already coming up. So that, I don't know if I'll be buying more Beauty Bay palettes unless like that one, the color story, just calls me. And this is the Beauty Bay Nikki Tutorials palette. I don't grab this very often, but I'm happy that I have it. The couple of these shades came in really handy when I've done some more rainbow looks because they pack on and stay true to color. They didn't blend away or fade, so they came in very handy. And then the shimmers in this again are really beautiful, especially these 3 I really love. This like all in shade is like olive gold and bronze. It's really pretty. This is more bronze, this is more taupey. And then this Pride shade just speaks to me because it's the Pride flag in a shimmer. It's pink, and then it's got blue and white reflect running through it, and it just, I really love that it's the Pride flag in a shimmer, and it's just so pretty. Right here, this is my Natasha Denona pile. I love all of these. I will be keeping all of these. So here are my middies. These are the mid-size. I don't have any mini palettes from her yet. I do want a couple of them, like mini gold especially. But I have all but retro from this size, and I do really want retro. I got a gift card for Christmas that I will probably be using to buy retro. It really speaks to me. So here is the first one. This was Sunrise. I got this year on sale. I actually when it went 50% off and it was $30, it was out of stock everywhere except for New York, but it was while I was going back home for a trip, so I was able to order it for pickup and got it and brought it home with me. And this is beautiful. I love the shades in here, especially this bottom little corner. Jasper is one of my favorite tones. Clove is just the perfect clove shade. Some of these shimmers are really beautiful. I really love this palette. I don't have the big sunset palette, doesn't really speak to me, but this one does. Love also got on sale. I definitely didn't $65 love this, but for $30, yes, especially being part of the ecosystem where all of these are interchangeable is where I really was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of pink and red. I do like dark reds like this blended out with that, beautiful. The shade's pretty. These kind of tones I'm not gonna reach for very often. This is something I will never use. The purples in this are pretty. These shimmers are really beautiful. So I was like, yes, I can label the shades and build my own palette after I have enough of them too. So that's part of why I've kind of bought into the Natasha Denona ecosystem. This is the Zendo. This is a controversial one from this year. People either love it or hate it. I love it. It's got great staple neutrals over here. This is also a very good neutral for me. I like these blues. These worked really well, and this Mantra shade worked beautifully. So I love this. It's a little softer, so this is a very good daily one. I've taken this traveling with me to New York and LA because I can do a quick like balance, zeal, yama, and call it a day. And it adds that little bit of sparkle without being too much. And then these are the first two palettes I got from Natasha Denona last year for my birthday. One of them was a gift, and one of them I got with a gift card. But this is Bronze. Love this. I wish there was a little more variation in this, but I do love it. And I don't mind the depth of these shades because if there was anything lighter than these, I wouldn't use them. And then here's Glam. I really like some of the tones in here. I hate the naming scheme. People have bitched about that before. I hate the naming scheme of this. People have complained about that a lot, and I agree. I know you can move them around, but I'm not gonna do that. I can't use transition. It just looks like ash on me. So I just stick with these three shades right here and just act like these two don't exist. But again, it's a little monochromatic for me, but I still really like it, and I'm not mad that I have it. And then these two I got in Black Friday, Circo Loco and Triochrome. These are ones that I was like, I really love them, but I don't $130 love them. So when they were half off, they were a bundle for $130 on Black Friday. I was like, yes, I will definitely do that. So I really love her formula, her cream to powder formula, so I really love this blue shade. It's so pigmented for being such a bright blue. This Areola shade is beautiful. Grin is really beautiful. I love this. The quality's great. I just didn't love it for $130. This Cotton Candy shade doesn't really show on me, but I'm only going to use it to blend out Joker anyway, so. Trio Chrome, another one where I was like, I don't like it for full price, but I really want some of these tones. And I also just wanted to compare these Trio Chromes or multi-chromes to the ones I have from like Terra Moons and stuff. And I will say they're definitely multi-chromes, but they're really weak. Like, they're pretty. They're her shimmer formula, so they're very silky and very beautiful. Scarab is my favorite. Color Flip is really pretty. It's a little harder to pick up that it's a multi-chrome. Kinetic is pretty, but it doesn't have any flip that I can see anywhere in it. It's just like blue, but it's a really beautiful blue, and I wanted some of these shades as in her formula, so I'm really happy I got that. So you can see those are very smooth and beautiful. And then I got both of these before they were discontinued this year, and I got them on sale, thankfully. I do wish they were in this kind of packaging, but This is the gold. This is like my idea of a neutral palette. Camel tones, mustard tones, cool tones, neutrals, and then all of these beautiful gold shades and like bronze. I love this. These toppers are beautiful. This duochrome right here is gorgeous. I love this. And then this is Metropolis. I don't love the little flap of the packaging, but I love the colors of this. And I like that it gives me 28 more midi size eyeshadows. So some of these are like my favorites of anything that she's done so far. So I really love this. So I will be keeping all my Natasha Denona, of course. Okay, let's do this little stack in the middle here that I see in front of me. Okay, so let's do this little stack here. Let's see, there's definitely a couple things in here I'm gonna be getting rid of. So let's do this just so they're out of the way. Here are my two Haus Labs palettes. I really love these. I like their formula a lot. I actually ordered the Love for Sale palette recently because it's on sale on Amazon for $25. So basically half off, and I really want to try it. It's made in Italy now, and they said that they upgraded the formula a lot, and I already liked it, so I want to see what it's like. This is the original palette. I've used this a lot. I've taken this traveling with me. This has been a go-to daily palette, and I've got it almost hit pan on this light brown and the darker brown. I love these. I don't love the red and this dark purple, but this lighter like pinky purple is really pretty. This duochrome is beautiful. These shimmers are really nice, daily, quick, beautiful shimmers. This is one of the best matte blacks that I've ever used, so I'm really happy to have this. And I've seen it on sale a couple times for like $14, $12, and I definitely think it's worth it at that point, even with these shades not being something I'll use often. So she described this as like her first foray into makeup and like the colors she wore on a regular basis. So I see that as her first palette. I totally get it. And you can see they look a little more sheer than Natasha Denona. Obviously it's a lot, but especially with a wet brush, these are beautiful. I always get compliments when I wear them. And then this is the Stupid Love palette. This was limited edition. I think it's still available on Amazon though. And I really like this. I thought it was funny. Some of the reviews that I saw when this came out were complaining like a couple of the shades are toppers, like they're made to be a sheer topper. This one has a bit of hard pan I need to try and fix. But people were like expecting it to be a thick shimmer, and then they're like, oh, that's really sheer. I don't want a sheer shimmer, that I wanted it to be thick. And it was like, it's in the name of the shade that it says it's a sheer pink shimmer, you know, whatever. The blues in this are great. They don't look like I've used them that much, but I have. They are some of the best blues that I've used. Some of these shimmers like Sour Candy, Babylon, Free Woman, beautiful. Fun Tonight is also beautiful. And some of these mattes, I've got a big dip in both of these. This is just such a beautiful like mauvey brown. It's so silky, really pigmented, really love that one. So I'm really happy I have this. This is a really nice white too. I'm gonna go wipe off my hands. Now that there's a little bit of an easier stack. This is the only Juvia's Place palette I have. This is the Saharan 2. Really love the color story here. This was, they said it was discontinued, and then I found a copy, got it, and then it's been back multiple times since. I love the color story of this, but I don't love using it. These are really pretty. This is like a peach duochrome. There's only 3 mattes here. This is very pink and not as dark as it looks here. This is very orange. This is just a brown. I just haven't had the most fun using this. I feel like I got a lot of fallout from everything, and these were not the easiest mattes to work with. So I just haven't really, I never reached for it because I just didn't have fun using it. So I think I'm gonna part with this one. I wasn't going to originally, but I think I am going to declutter this, because if I'm not using it and I haven't used it in months and months, I'm probably not going to. but it is really beautiful. That's going in the declutter bin. And then this is the ColourPop. I'll put that with the other ColourPop palettes. I'll do these three. This is my BH little pile. So I have 3 BH palettes. I have the beautiful in Barcelona. I got this in a giveaway, and I was really excited because 1, giveaway, and 2, I hadn't tried BH, and I was not that impressed. I don't know. I know some people say they have a good formula and then they have a great formula. This was just fine. This blue was horrible. I could not get it to show up on me. I used multiple primers. I used sticky primer, and I wanted just a blue lid. Like, I just wanted to use this and then use like one of these as the inner corner, and I could not get it to go. Like, it just looked patchy and pale and terrible. It was not a good blue. And that's kind of turned me off of wanting to try the other shades that much. I've used it a couple times and I've just been like, it's fine. I'm not that impressed with it. I feel like I know people who have less makeup than me that will get more use out of this, so I'm gonna give that away. And then I have these are 2 of the Birthstone palettes. These are the only 2 I really wanted. There's September, which is my Birthstone Sapphire. It's pretty. I don't love the color story a ton, but I really like it, especially for the price. I think I paid, you know, $7 short or something, and I had a discount. Don't love the pressed glitter, but it's pretty, and I'm not mad that I have it. And then the Peridot one from August is beautiful. I like the color story of this one a lot more, and I've used it. It's nice. I don't think it's amazing, but it's nice, and I'm not mad that I have, you know, it in this little palette. Here are my Nomad palettes. So this was my first Nomad palette, and it is still my favorite. It is the Iceland palette. I love everything about this, even the little gnome on the back. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. These are great blues. They build up very nicely. The shimmers in this are all beautiful, and I love the mix of cool and warm tones in this. That's something I like, and you will see in other palettes that I love. This Gallows Lava shade is just such a pretty, like, gray-based green shimmer, and then these 2 duochromes here, Edelheim and Valkyries, are just so pretty. I will always recommend this. It's such a good palette. This is the America's Parks palette. This one came out this summer. I love this. I can't open it. I think it's beautiful. It's got some nice primary shades that have come in handy a few times. This purple brown shade, it's like if you combined these 2 together, is just gorgeous. This shade is really beautiful. I really love this. I have no complaints for this at all. I think this is a great little palette. And then this is the Haunted Europe palette. This was my first piece of PR. I love the color story, and I was super hyped for it. And then when they said, can we send this to you? I was like, yes, of course. So I will definitely keep this. I even have the full box that came in still. I love this palette. I love the color story of this. I have multiple videos up talking about it. I love this. I do think these 2 shimmers are a little similar. This one's more yellow gold, and this was a little more orange gold, but that's a tiny, tiny thing, and I still think they both work beautifully. So I love this. I will link my other videos so you can go check those out if you hadn't already. And then here are my 2 Hip Dot. Actually, I have 3 Hip Dot palettes. So here is the first 2. These are their original palettes, and they're in their original packaging. They have like a kickstand that they can sit propped open like that. I believe they've gotten rid of that now, and they've made them skinnier. But these are great. The quality is really nice. I know people bog on them a lot for doing all their collabs, but you know, if it's what sells, it sells. You don't have to buy it. Some collabs I do think are a bit ridiculous, but I think this is beautiful. It's supposed to be Zion National Park. It's the colors of the rocks in the park, and I think it's beautiful. The quality in this is really nice. And this is my favorite of theirs. This is the cenote. It's based on Mexican cenotes. And it's a great color story. It's, again, warm neutrals and blues. I love these. This cave shade is one of my favorites. These blue shimmers are gorgeous. And these mattes are all pigmented. This is their new Rugrats collaboration that they did for Hanukkah. I think this is adorable, but I will say it's not as good as these ones. I would say the mattes are on par. The mattes are pigmented, blend easily, and they're really nice. The shimmer in this, though, is really weak and kind of sad. Like, these shimmers are better than most ColourPop shimmers I have, just for a reference, since I've got a bunch of ColourPop here. This is like a meh ColourPop shimmer, and then these are better than most ColourPop. So, like, this also has 2 pressed glitters, so I'm not going to get rid of this. I think it's adorable, and I'm really happy I have it. But I will say the quality in this is better. And this is one of my Sydney Grace palettes. This is the Enduring Love. I have these all clumped together because of size and shape. I sort most things by brand, but some things are by size. This is the Enduring Love palette. I have this in the deep version. I really like this. I love the Sydney Grace formula. It's not my absolute favorite, but it is a really good formula. This Diana is a really beautiful olive. I love having these neutral shades when I want them. I feel like the Sydney Grace mattes are extremely pigmented. They blend nicely. Not as easily as like Pat McGrath, but they blend really nicely. The shimmers, though, are a little thick. Like, they look beautiful, and you could blend the edges nicely and stuff, but they are a little thicker than I want on a day-to-day. Like, I don't know, the texture of them is just a little different, but I still love it, and I want more. I actually also have some singles in the other room, but I'm not doing singles in this video. Okay, so here's Kaleidos, one of my favorite brands. I don't have all of their palettes, but I wish I did. So I've got 4 of the Futurism palettes, and then I've got these 3 over here. So this is Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise. I really like this one. I don't use this Cheeto-y orange very often, but this blue shimmer is beautiful. And the mattes in this are great. I love their formula so much. Pigmented, but also like basically effortless to blend. But not too pigmented. They you can build them up or shade them out a little bit. This is Lunar Lavender. This is probably my second most used after Sashimi City. I adore this. I like that it has cool tone browns, purples, and then these beautiful duochromes. These are, when I want a duochrome, I want something like this. I want something that's actually shifty, pigmented, or either a shifty topper or a shifty pigmented shade. These are both pretty pigmented, especially this one, Moonroof. I love these. This was an amazing little palette. And then this is Sashimi City. This is my most used of these 4. And it's neutral. If I want to make a statement with, like, I have a sparkly eye, but I'm not wearing something overly dramatic or overly bold, this is what I go for. It's got like more pinky warm neutrals, true neutrals, and then it's got 2 beautiful duochromes. This is like a gold with a little bit of a green to it, and this is a really beautiful pink peach. I love this so much. I have reached into it for those 2 shimmers so many times. And then this is the Cyber Bronze. This might have been discontinued. I haven't seen it on their website in a while. I really love it though, especially for, having some good neutral browns. The silver is great, and this shade here, Quantum, is great. I like the red here. I'm just not much for a red shimmer. This is it feels very holiday-y with the red and silver. And then I've got the Escape Pod, Club Nebula, and Flower Punk. So Escape Pod is great. There are a couple things that I wish they would have done differently, like these two oranges look very similar. This is more true orange, this is a little peachier, but they look very similar. And these two greens, also especially on the eye, look very similar, but they are gorgeous. I love them. And then these middle shades, great. I didn't have any problem with the blue or these purples. I love their formula so much. And this is the Club Nebula with Angelic Nequist. This is my favorite palette of 2021. I love everything about this. I love every color in it. I love the formulas. It's got, you know, duochrome, multichrome toppers over here. It's got some like solid shimmers here. It's got dark mattes. It's got light mattes. This is the best bright green I have. I've done, one of my most common looks with this has been a neutral eye with these two shades and then like an inner corner pop of like Nova or something. This is great, and I love this. I'm sad that it was a limited edition palette, but it was around for a while, so if you wanted it you could get it, but if you like discovered Kaleidos late, then I'm sorry. And then this was their Flower Punk. This came out in the spring. I am into every aspect of this packaging. I think it's everything I love. And then the colors are great. This is one of the best shimmers I have. It's just this really intense green. These are a little more duochromy, a little more sheer, beautiful. I like the mix of tones in here I've never seen before. I've done Aloe Cove as like an inner corner pop on a neutral day many times, and I adore this palette. I think it's also interesting that they experiment with packaging. Okay, so let's do this little stack, and then I'm gonna grab into the ColourPop because I have a lot of ColourPop over here. This is the Jackie Aina palette. It's the only ABH palette I've ever tried. I like it a lot. I'm really happy I got it on sale in the last year or sometime. Some of these are really beautiful neutral tones. I love how pigmented they are. I'd rather have a really pigmented shadow that you can like sheer out a bit than something you have to build and build and build, because this is more likely going to show up on more skin tones. I hate the brush. I haven't tossed it though, just because I don't know, I can't do that. So it just sits here in its package. It's not my favorite formula from brands, so I haven't really felt the urge to buy anything else from ABH, but I do really like this palette. And I think Jackie did a great job with that. Here are my two Trixie palettes. I have videos with at least Plant Gay. I think I have something with Bottle Blonde. Plant Gay came out this summer. I love this. I really think they're an underrated brand. They are drag queen and queer owned, and they just come up with some of the best things. You'll see a lot of them in my like complexion declutter and lipstick stuff. This color story is beautiful. This is a great green. I like that she experimented with texture, so you've got some like sparkly shades here, more true metallics here. Mattes are very pigmented, blend easily. I love this palette. This is one of my favorites. I forgot to include it in my favorites of 2021. I had everything set aside to film that, and then I had to wait a few days because of chaos and life stuff, and so when I went to grab them again, I didn't grab this one, but this is one of my favorites. And then Bottle Blonde came out this year too. I really love this one, but I don't reach for pinks very often, but these purples work beautifully. This mauve mentality is such a sparkly mauvey brown. This is Trixie's idea of a neutral palette, and I think this is so cute. I love the pun names, really good matte white. I think highly underrated, just great quality for the price, and you're supporting a little queer-owned brand that also employs, I think, mostly queer people and women. These are my two Sigma palettes. I've got the Cinderella palette. I have videos on this, and I did a giveaway with it. I really like this palette. I keep my brushes from Sigma palettes in here because they're double-ended, and I don't know how to store them otherwise. Because I don't want one end to be, you know, sitting there. Plus, they just go with this. It's upside down. And I have severe OCD. I really love this. I've raved about this year. I wish some of these, like this is a topper shade, and I wish it wasn't a dark topper. That's one thing they do, is they do sheer sparkly topper shades, but they're dark. And I like a light iridescent topper shade. So that's one thing I don't love about this, but otherwise it's super pigmented, blends nicely, very cute color story. This is the best Disney collab I've seen ever. And this is last year's Untamed palette. I love this. This is like a grungy rainbow. Again, a dark topper shade, don't get it, but these shades over here are all beautiful. I don't love this blue shimmer. I feel like it didn't look that impactful in the eye, and I had a lot of fallout from it both times I tried to use it. But the rest, these shades I love, and I like that there's a matte black and a matte white. So and then these are my other Sydney Grace palettes. These are the Temptalia ones. I love these. I got 2 of them in the dark and 1 light, and I do not regret it. I think these are beautiful. I really think Christine, who runs Temptalia, did a great job with this. This is the Radiant Reflection one. Yep. This is like the jewel tone one. I love this orange. These greens are nice. These blues are beautiful. I like that there's different textures. You can see how this one's like chunky and sparkly. This Phosphine shade is one of my favorite shimmers. Love this. This is the Quintessence one, beautiful cool tone. This is, when I talk about wanting a good duochrome, this is what I'm talking about. And you'll see why I'm mentioning duochromes now, because there are some palettes with some bad duochromes coming up. I got this one in the dark because the light mattes here just look too they would be ashy on me. I'm a medium olive, so I'm right in that range where things can start to look really ashy. And then this is the On the Horizon. I love this one. I've used these 2 shimmers a lot, and I've used this green one a lot. I love these. Okay, so let's do ColourPop. I've got a big mound of ColourPop here. So this is all my ColourPop stuff. I've already decluttered a couple things. The Blush Crush palette got rid of a while ago because it just did not work on my skin tone at all. Here are the astrology quads. I have 2 of the Taurus one because mine came shattered and destroyed, and they sent me a replacement, which is, you know, very nice looking. I'm gonna hold on to this one. I'm gonna probably try this one a bit more, make sure this one works well, and then I'll probably keep this. The mattes in this are extremely pigmented. The shimmers seem nice. I like the duochrome effect of this one here. And I like the compact size. I will probably, I might keep the newer one and give this one to my friend who wants to play with makeup some more. And then this is the Cancer one. I really like this one. It's cool toned, it's really cute. You can see these are both duochromes. I would say this one is a nice, you know, pigmented shimmer. This one's a little toppery, really kind of thin, but I don't mind it with those colors. You can see just how thin that is. Like, it adds like a wash of blue, like a highlighter. That one's better, but still not as good. But I'm gonna keep hold of that one. This is the Virgo one. I'm not a Scorpio. I bought my signs. I think this is cute. I want to play with this one a little bit more. And then this is the Libra one, and this one is probably, I don't know, I might give it away, I might just throw it away. It's terrible. The mattes in this were fine. This was too light to look okay on me. This pink shimmer is fine. This one is the duochrome, and I really want it. You can see how chunky it is because it's so dry. I'm putting it over there. It's so dry, and so it just looked like chalk on the lid, and you can see I can't even get it to show up on my hand. Like, these two look meh. This one looks just bad. Like, I could not get this to work at all. This is the Lust for Dust palette. This was also something I won in a giveaway, and it's pretty. It's a neutral. I like that it's warm and cool tones. I didn't love the performance of some of these darker shades, and these two shades are what would have made it worth it. They're both duochromes, and they are, again, just really thin and lack pigment. And then here's a regular shimmer for reference. So like, here is that duochrome. It looks okay there. On the eye, it's really hard to get it to really show up. And then here is that shimmer. And you can see how much more impactful that is. Probably better in a different part of my hand, but I'm running out of room that's not covered in sparkles. So I feel like if I want warm neutrals or cool neutrals, I just don't reach for this. And I know some people really loved this palette this year. I like the concept, I like the color story. I just don't think the quality was that great. So I think I'm gonna give this one away. I have a friend who's starting to get into makeup, and also my sister-in-law likes makeup and doesn't buy a lot herself. So I have people to give these things away to. This is the High Tide palette. I got this year as well as part of a giveaway. I love the packaging of this. I would say the quality on this is better. It's just monochromatic, and I don't like monochromatic palettes, but I'm gonna hold on to this for now because the quality on these shades was really nice. They were pigmented, and the shimmers were pretty. I just have to mix it with something else because I'm not gonna do a monochromatic teal look. And I'm gonna wipe off my hands. Okay. So here is the Little Ray of Sunshine. I really love this. This was their first all matte palette. I think the quality in this is great. I'm never gonna use these really, I've tried to use these really pale shades. They don't really work for me, but these shades down here, beautiful. I love having these, so definitely keeping you. These are Ulta exclusives that came out last year. She's got Solstice and All Things Equinox, and I'm gonna be getting rid of these. These are a little too gray for me without being actually gray. Like, if they were actually gray, I might use them for a black and white gray look, but they're not. They're like gray browns. And it's just, I don't like the mattes with sparkle. The shimmer's pretty, but like, I don't know. I just don't reach for this, and I'd rather have other cool tones. So I think I know someone that would like this more than me. This is the She's Got Solstice Palace. I really like this one. I have always liked this one. I don't like this bright pink, but I love this terracotta. This foiled shade's really pretty, but a pain to use because it goes everywhere. This shade it looks prettier in the pan. On my eye, it looked a little dull. I like the mix of green, the earthiness of this, the green and the terracotta, but I have these tones in other formulas that I like more, so I think I'll give this to someone who will use it more than me. This is the Baby Yoda, the child palette. I adore this. This is one of their best palettes. I think the formulas in this are great. I love greens. I like these browns. This, just like a Tatooine shade, doesn't quite look like it there, but blended out, it's literally just blends into my skin on my eye, so it's a good shade for that, to make it look like I'm not really wearing makeup. And I just like these a lot. This is top 2 ColourPop palettes. This is the Frozen palette. This is the Elsa one. I forgot her name for a minute. Don't hate me, but I haven't watched a Disney movie in a long time, and I have not seen Frozen. I think this is cute. I don't like pressed glitters, so I'm not going to use that, but I feel like this is a unique color story, and I don't really want to part with it for that. These aren't the best blues or the best dark shades, but they're not atrocious, and I think these shimmers all looked pretty on the eye, so really loved this silver. So I'm going to hold on to this for now. Might go away next year. This is the Fine Feather palette that came out this year. Again, love the packaging. Quality on this one was nice, but again, it's monochromatic, so I just don't reach for it. I have to use it in conjunction with something else. I feel like some of these shades look too similar. That's part of why I don't like monochromatic palettes, but I like that it goes pretty dark, and and the quality in this was nice. So I'm gonna hold on to this for now. I haven't had it that long. This was my first ColourPop palette, Making Mauves, and I was so excited when I got this. But I'm gonna get rid of it. I know more about myself. I know more about makeup now, and these just do not work for me. This shade here is okay. These two here are good. This looks horrible on me. This doesn't show up on me. This doesn't really show up and has glitter in it. These two shimmers are nice. This one never worked for me and then got immediate hard pan. It's like Hermione and Lunar Beauty. So for like only a couple mattes, and like this is dark, but it doesn't get that dark. Like I've used just these two shades and people will be like, oh, that's a really pretty subtle eye you're wearing. And I'm like, I packed on that dark shade as much as I could. It just doesn't show up on my skin tone very well. So, like the idea, just doesn't work for me. These three are the tie-dye collection. Super excited when I got these, but I'm gonna get rid of them. This one was one of my favorites of them. This is the Miss Bliss. I've done some looks with this, and they just don't work on my skin tone. I don't know if I will ever really get pastels that work. I feel like you either need to be really pale or have very deep skin. People in the middle like me, they don't work. They just look ashy and gross, and these, almost all of these have sparkle in them. I don't like this, and then I dropped it. And the two shimmers in here that I actually liked shattered, so this will either, I don't know what I'll do with this, but it's going away. This is the In a Trance palette, and I liked this one in theory. It's the trans flag, basically. You've got white, blue, and pink. I think it's a beautiful concept. It just doesn't really work for me. This baby blue doesn't show up on me. I'd rather use the one from Natasha Denona. The shimmers are, they're fine. This Super Shock is one of the ones where, like, I know a brush is bad at picking them up, but this one doesn't even want to pick up with a finger. Like, it just does not do anything. Looks pretty, but you just get, like, the faintest whisper of anything when you actually try to use it. So, quality, not good. This is the last one. This is the Aura and Out. I liked that it had a white. I've used the white in this a few times, but it's not the best white. The Haus Labs one is way, way better. So I reached for that instead. Because this is not a very pigmented white, and these shimmers this green shimmer is pretty. This one doesn't work. This Super Shock doesn't work. These are too pale, so this can go away. And then let's see. I've got a few of the 12 pans, and I've got some other ones here. This is Sweet Talk, and I will probably anger some people, but I'm getting rid of this. This is a lot of people's favorites. It just does not work for me. Don't like pressed glitters. This Super Shock is really pretty. This one actually works. This Garden Date shade is a really pretty duochrome, but I have a similar one in Natasha Denona Bronze that's more impactful and I like more. And these, I only really like it for this bottom row. I don't like these pale pinks don't work on my skin. This one's okay, this coral. These are okay for a transition shade, but I really only reach for these 4 shades. And I have friends that would use this way more than me. I think my sister-in-law will really like this because she is much more fair than I am. This is California Love. This is a really beautiful palette. I love these earthy tones. It's got a pressed glitter that I've used. It's pretty, but I just don't like pressed glitters that much. I love these orangey warm tones. This is a really beautiful shimmer here, so is this one. But when I want to use these kind of tones, I never reach for this. When I think of these warm bronzy tones, I think of Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath or something else. I never reach for this. So I'm gonna give this to my friend. He has just started getting into makeup, and these are his favorite colors and tones, so he'll like this and get way more use out of it than I will. This is Sailor Moon. I love this palette. I know a lot of people hated it. These are really pale and don't really show up on me, but I can use them to like set a wash of color on my lid and then put one of these sparkly ones on there and then mascara, and it gives me a very ethereal look. These are basically just there to like add a little bit of, you know, matte. This shade doesn't work at all on me. These shimmers are all really beautiful ethereal shimmers. This is one of ColourPop's best shimmers and duochromes. And then these all, they're very bright neon-y, but they work really well. They're very pigmented. I've worn this and gotten compliments. They make a nice inner corner pop. So, plus I love Sailor Moon, so. This is probably the best ColourPop palette in existence. This is at Foresight. This was recently restocked and sold out again, so hopefully they keep bringing it back. This is great. The mattes in this are all very pigmented, so anybody can use them. It only has 2 shimmers, but they're very beautiful. They have actual pigment to them. I wish this didn't have sparkle in it, but it's fine. It's like black with copper sparkles, but like, I love the vibes. I think Robbie Christie did an amazing job with this, and really captured the Pacific Northwest as someone who spent on and off again most of their life in this area. Except for that, you know, decade I was gone. This is the Mulan palette. I'm gonna hold on to this. I love Mulan. I think this is really beautiful. I think this works pretty well. It's got a duochrome here that actually does work. It's like a cool tone. It's got some of these really foiled shades. They're not pressed glitters, they're just really foiled. And then I like that it's a cool tone side and a warm tone side. I think it's cute. I'm gonna hold on to that. This is the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters. I really like this palette. I didn't get the new one. It just didn't say Hocus Pocus to me, and also it just didn't work. I didn't like it. But this one I like. I like that you can go neutral, you can go jewel toned. I think the shimmers in this were pretty. The mattes in this worked really well. This is one of the darkest olives I have. I love this palette. I think it's super cute. I'm so glad I got it. I actually went to Ulta the day it launched after all of the like hype had died down. Like I went at like around noon and they had 2 of them in stock, and I bought both, one for me and one for my sister-in-law. This is the Garden Variety. I really like this palette. I don't obviously use these shades here. I can use this one as a transition for these other shades. These 2 don't show up on me very flatteringly, but I think this is a really cute concept. I like the earthiness of some of these. This green works well. This Root 'em Up shade is really just the shade of soil, which, as someone with an archaeology background, speaks to me. So I like this garden succulent vibe. And then I've got So Jaded, and I love this palette. Not, like, these aren't the best blues I've used, but they work really well. These shades over here are all beautiful. I love all of the shimmers in this. The pressed glitters are pretty, even though I don't really use them. So this is a keeper. I will keep this until it stops working. Okay, so here are my sigil palettes. I will link my playlist. I've done a video on every one of these. I adore Sigil Inspired by Tammy Tunuka. These are some of the best palettes. I got all of these this year because I wanted to try them a lot last year. I never let myself, and then I started buying them partway through this year, and I've become obsessed. But this is the Call of the Mist palette. I think this is a really beautiful, cool tone, misty palette. These are like the shades of mist and then like misty forest tones. I think this is beautiful. They make some of the highest quality shadows I've ever used and the most unique color stories. This is the Lavender Chinchilla. I have this in the Gazelle in minis. I kind of wish they were big. I complain about that too much. It's fine. This one is still available as big and small. You can still get this on her website and on Etsy. I think this is gorgeous. This is a beautiful duochrome. This is a beautiful purple. My only complaint and hesitation with buying a full size is these 2 shades are really light. So they basically act as blending out shades for the purple. If I want it to be a little more pink or a little more gray, I can use those, but I can't use them by themselves because they are too pale for me. This is the Gazelle palette. This is like a perfect neutral palette. It's got like an olive beige and olive green, and then these are just so pretty. This I really wish I had a full size of. This blue is supposed to be, she describes it as the colors of the morning sky, and it really is. It's like blue and gold and pink and orange. These are just so beautiful. These are her two newest palettes. These are the the Languid Chestnut Toad and the Placeful Grass Snake. I have videos with both of these. Obsessed. I love these so much. These are totally worth every penny if you can afford it. This is like my ideal green palette because it's not fully monochromatic. It's got two multi-chromes. I have videos with these. I think they're amazing. And these are her book palettes, which are big 10 pans. You can also buy these as a mini. You can also buy them as two palettes, like split in half. This is the Wind Rose Grand Journey North South. This is the Viking palette. And it's cool toned, it's beautiful. It's got like this astral white blue iridescent shade here. It's got a multi-chrome here. It's got some duochromes up here. I love this. Again, these two shades are really pale, so they work to blend this out and stuff in more of a pink way or more of a gray way. But I can't use these by themselves. They're too pale for me. So that's my one complaint, but it's minor because they still work. And then this is the Flaming Gold. This one's a mess because this shade was cracked and I had to repress it, but I've also used this one a lot. I think this is gorgeous. I can use every matte here. There's a peach, a green, a brown. It's got multiple duochromes. It's got this multi-chrome. I love this. This is like perfect fall palette. And it's very similar to one of the Odin's-Eye palettes that I will show. So that'll use that as a transition. So it's not the same colors, but it's the same vibe as the Red Dragon that Judy did with Odin's-Eye. So you can see the greens are different. This is a little bit lighter. This is a little more earthy green. This is a little brighter, a little yellowier. They both have a peach that are pretty similar, but they're both that like gold, red, green combo, just different takes on it. Like none of the shades are shade for shade dupes, but the vibes are there. You can see this has a lot more mattes. It has red tones, not just red shimmers. This doesn't have like a true red shimmer like this one does. So they're not identical, but they're the same kind of fall trees changing vibe that I really love. And I love both of these. And then these are my other Odin's-Eye palettes. I just did a video doing my first palette bingo with these. Love these. This is amazing. This is my favorite of them just because these are the tones I love the most. Blues and greens. Love this. And I can't wait to use this one more in the spring and the summer because it's just so vibrant. This fancy shade is unbelievable. This Red Hill shade is super gorgeous. So love this. And then I've talked about the Norns palette quite a bit on my channel. I love this palette and I wish I had the mini ones from it, but you can only buy so much, and you can see I have a lot of makeup already. But like this is how you do a duochrome. That is a duochrome. ColourPop, please learn. Okay, so we've got a couple stacks here left. Sorry, this has been long. This is the Game Beauty Victory palette. This is the first palette I've tried from them. I really love it. I almost bought their new Harbinger palette. I almost bought the ones that came before this, but they weren't exactly what I wanted, especially the pastel one. Love this though. These are the great fall tones. They all look very different on the eye. Like this is very orange. This is very neutral brown. This is like a warm brown, cool brown, warmer dark brown. They're great. This teal is not the best dark teal I've used, but it's good. And the shimmers in this are beautiful, and they have this iridescent shade here. I love this, and I love the whole concept behind the brand as a whole. I really want to try more from them. And then this is all Lethal Cosmetics. These are their spring palettes. I love all three of these. I don't remember the individual names. I know one of them is like Memento, and this is the Roots palette, I believe. This is my favorite. My only complaint is I wish it had a dark shade, but they're lethal singles, so you can pop them out and rearrange them, and I've done that. I've used this to travel and made a little custom one, but these shimmers, so good. Actually, all three of these. This is like an iridescent white blue, and then these are two duochromes. They're gorgeous. This is really beautiful egg yolk yellow. I love lethal. This is the pinky purple one. Love this. This doesn't go super deep, but I have dark mattes from Lethal I could use, and the quality on these are all great. And then this one is really beautiful too. This is a really beautiful rose gold. I love the watermelon tone in here. I had to have these. I want to have all of the Lethal shadows. I love them. This is the Berlin 89. I have a video talking about this. You can see the pans are way smaller, but they work really well. This is one of my favorite shades from the palette, surprisingly. It's like a silver with a pink flip. It's got a multi-chrome in it. I like that you can go full neutral, you can go kind of grayscale, you can go colorful with blue and purple. I think this was a really cute palette. Quality is great. This is the Lethal is Dead palette they did with Teresa's Dead. Love this. This is one of my favorite palettes this year. My best friend also ordered it, and it was her first Lethal order. I think she had a couple singles from one of my previous ones that she chipped in on. But this was her first palette from Lethal, and I think this is her most used palette of 2021. She loves it, and it's a great palette. Teresa did a wonderful job. I love this. I'm sad it's gone. But I do have a video swatching all of my Lethal shades, and some of these are not direct dupes of their other shades, but there are a couple where you can get a similar look. So check that out if you missed out on this. And then this is my favorite palette from Lethal. This is the Velvet Dusk. I like that I can go neutral, I can go green here, I can go purple. I love this. This is a perfect fall palette for me. This dark inky blue purple works great to deepen up some of those shades. I love this. I think they have some amazing palettes and shades. And then a little random stack. This is the only MAC palette I own. This was a gift from a friend. They're a makeup artist, and they were like, I'm getting rid of some stuff. I'm gonna give it to you so you can play around. It's pastels. They are ashy and look terrible on me and have no pigment, so this is going away. I feel bad for anybody who paid full price for that. This is the NYX Ultimate palette in warm neutrals. It's fine. I don't think it's really worth the price. It was a good palette to learn with and practice eye shapes with because it was cheap and it's not overly pigmented. I remember I got the Hip Dot palettes after this and I was shocked by how much more pigmented they were. It was like I had to learn how to use more pigmented shades. But I have my friend that's learning how to do makeup, and I think this will be a fun palette to play around with. This I also got from my makeup artist friend, or one of them. I have a few makeup artist friends. This one is shedding blue shadow all over my table. This is an LA Girl or LA Colors palette. It's not that good. The shades, like, I thought it would be fun to learn how to use some of these shades, but like, I hate the tiny pans. Brushes don't fit in them. They're not very pigmented. So this is probably, and this is really old, so this is probably gonna go in the trash, especially because it's now just dumping blue shadow everywhere. These are my two palettes from Musée Beauty, which has changed their name. I don't remember how to pronounce their new name, but I will put it on the screen. It's like the two owners combined their names. And I really want to try more from them. I really want the Mango palette, and I really want the Impressionism palette. This is the Triumphant Venus. This was one of my first videos. I think this is great. These are not sparkly special shimmers, but just standard metallics, but they're beautiful. They work well. The mattes in this are great. They blend easily. They build up nicely. I love blue and warm tones again. And this is their Le Jardin palette. They just came out with a volume 2 of this. That's the same color story, but new shades. And I like some of those new shades more, like the new version of the green shimmer I like better. But I like this carnation shade more. So I think this is great. I have used this a lot. I think this is a really cute, fun palette. I wish they did this packaging instead of this one, but this is the only palette that came out like this, and every other 9 pan is this chonky one. And then this is the Shroud and Batty Bean It's Freaking Bats palette. I got this year. You can see I dropped it. It survived. It just dented a little bit. I love this. This is one of my favorite palettes this year. Beautiful duochromes, beautiful shimmer, really interesting color story. I think Betty Jean did an amazing job with this. And this is the El Barrio palette from Terra. This is no longer available, but all the singles are available. You just can't buy it as a palette. Love this. Mi Gente is such an interesting gray-based green. These are all super pigmented. I love the Icono green shimmer here. These blues are great. I love Terra, so I'm really happy I got this. Also, as a Mexican American, I like having things that really show off Hispanic culture. El Barrio means neighborhood for anybody that doesn't speak Spanish. And my last little stack is all expensive things. I've got 2 Melt palettes and then Pat McGrath. So here is the Melt Vita palette. This is the first one I got. I got it on sale. I'm really happy I didn't pay a full price for it because I don't use it very often, but I love it. I wish I had Muerte. I wish I had both sides of the skull. I have a skull tattoo. I also am an osteologist. I study bones. So I just wish I had it. But this is great. The shimmers in this are fine, but the mattes in this are wonderful. Really love this palette and the theming behind it. Again, Mexican culture. This is your new holiday palette. I love this. This is one of top 3 things I used this year, if I had to rank them. It's beautiful. I love every shade in this. The top half is eyeshadows. The bottom half is pressed pigments. So these can irritate or stain your eyes. I didn't have any irritation. I had no staining. I've used every shade in this. The tones are beautiful. I think the quality on this is one of the best things I've ever used. These are some of the best, most pigmented mattes. Like the Kaleidos Dark mattes are really pigmented and blend nicely. These are even more pigmented. These are insane. And then here's Pat. I got my first Pat McGrath palettes this year, and I might be buying another one already because she's doing another sale, and I got gift cards and stuff that, you know, it's a thing. But I really, really want Subliminal. I really want those cool tones. I don't have a ton of cool tones like that, like good taupe cool tones, as you can see. I have a lot of color and some warm tones, and I want cool tones in her formula. I think her formula is amazing. So this is Celestial Odyssey, the new palette from this year. Love this. This Bronze Nova Duochrome is one of my most used shades. I wore this Palladium shade on Christmas with my best friend. I just did a little bit of this. I did the dark brown on the outer corner, Palladium, and then this on the inner corner, and it was the quickest, most beautiful eye. I love her formula so much. This is Utopian Dreams that came out this year, and everybody was mad that it wasn't as colorful as they thought. I still have the plastic on it because I don't want fingerprints on it. Love this. I can't with these. These are just amazing. This bronze shade is really pretty, this duochrome. I have fallen head over heels in love with Pat McGrath and Sigil Inspired this year. So, sorry, wallet. And this was my first palette from Pat. The box came messed up, which is sad, but I'm not getting rid of it because it's beautiful art. This is Midnight Sun. I got gift cards for my birthday, a bunch of Sephora ones in September, and I used them to cover the cost of this and another item. I had there was also a sale or something, but this is I got this as my first because this is a good staple everyday palette for me. I can do these browns with this bronze, these browns with the green, even the the bluey purple. I've reached into this more than the others just because of the tones of these browns, especially this. This vermilion Venom shade is the best like terracotta shade I have. It's intense and I love it so much. These are not shifty. These are special shades, but they're not like duochromes, but I still think this is an amazing palette. I know it was recently on sale for $70 or something, and I was like, wow, I wish I would have not bought it as my first. I should have gotten Subliminal, because now I could have it at $70. Pat's doing another sale, and I might be buying Subliminal during that, because I just can't help myself. And this is Bronze Seduction. This is everyone's favorite. I love this. These shifty toppers are beautiful. I don't really wear red shimmers very often, so I'm not going to reach for that much. This one's beautiful. But these tones are beautiful. This dark purple is perfect. And then I really like these bronze. I wish this feels a little sheer to me, which is nice. It's fine. I wish it was more like the shimmers and some of her other palettes, because then I would wear that almost every day. I am on the hunt for like a perfect version of this shade. Yeah, taupey bronze. Okay, so that is all of my palettes, my entire collection. Yeah, that is everything. And let's see, I put everything that I'm getting rid of in this bin.
So I'm decluttering 1,
14 and 2 quads. So not bad for my first declutter. So thank you so much for watching. I will have declutters of the rest of my collection going up over the next few days. I'm just a little behind on schedule. But thank you so much for watching. Remember to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.